And we welcome you to Lyman High School in Lyman, Wyoming, where tonight a volleyball matchup against Lyman High School and their cross-county rivals, Mountain View Buffaloes, here in Lyman this evening. Already tonight, the JV and freshmen have seen action. The freshmen split 2 sets. The Lyman lost the first set 25-14 and came back and won the second set 25-17. Then the JV took to the court, and it was all Lyman as they came away with a 25-20 and 25-23 win in the best of 3 for the junior varsity. And now you can see the varsity is lining up to get underway here in Lyman this evening. It is pink out night, as you can see. Both teams are wearing pink. And if you look closely at the cheerleaders sitting over, if you look at the left side of your screen, on the far side of the court, right there in the corner, the cheerleaders for Lyman High School are all decked out in pink also. It is in honor, I guess, or in helping us to all remember breast cancer and find a search for breast cancer and wipe out and eradicate breast cancer. Not only affects many, many women, but also men too. Almost as many men get breast cancer as women do, so it is something that affects us all. And the teams tonight want everybody to think about it and be aware of it and do what we can to get breast cancer off of this planet. Our broadcast tonight is being brought to you by Rocky Mountain Yeti, by Chad's Automotive out of Evanston, by Wyoming Dental Specialties from Evanston, by Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, by West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Signs serving the entire region, and by MyLocalRadio.com, a proud member of the co-op. We want to thank our sponsors tonight. And in fact, why don't we take a moment? We're going to hear from a couple of our sponsors. Then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about this, the final weekend of regular season volleyball before all of the teams across the state head off to their regional matchups, which will happen next weekend in different areas around the state of Wyoming. But we'll talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit more about these two teams and what's left for them in their regular season, and maybe a look ahead at what they might be able to expect in the regionals. We'll do all of that in just a minute or two. You're listening to Lyman Eagle Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you. Sign up now for the new Sync RX program at City Drug.
Your prescriptions will be synchronized to be refilled the same time each month.
Save time and reduce your visits to the pharmacy.
The staff at City Drug will resolve insurance issues and call your doctor for refills in advance.
We'll make all the calls.
Your prescriptions will be ready the same time each month.
No waiting. Simple and easy. The Sync RX program is free. Stop in today to sign up.
City Drug, your local hometown pharmacy in downtown Evanston.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
Pre-game of the Lyman Mountain View volleyball matchup tonight here in Lyman, Wyoming. as the teams are warming up on the court. You see them all decked out in pink, both teams wearing pink. It is going to be a rough one on me to try and keep the team straight as we make the call through this game. But Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they want to bring awareness to that disease and help find a cure, eradicate it. So hopefully we can think of something we're able to do besides just wear pink, and each of us can take a little action this month to help to wipe out such a fatal disease. Let's talk a little bit about both of these teams tonight and where they're headed. For the Lyman Eagles, they are bringing a record of 24-4 into this matchup tonight. The last time they lost was in Cokeville back on the 4th of October. Last time they lost, they have won since then 2, 4, 6, 8 straight matches, and they are now ranked number 3 in the state of Wyoming in 3A volleyball. This will be their last regular season matchup of this season. They will be going in as the number 1 seed in the regionals in Riverton next weekend. And we'll check on more of that in a moment. As far as Mountain View, the Buffaloes tonight come into this match with a 15-12 record on the regular season. But not only do they have this match, they have 2 more regular season matches. Tomorrow they will travel over to Cokeville to take on the number 1 ranked 1A team in the state, the Cokeville Panthers. And then on Saturday, it's a morning game, actually morning for the freshmen and JV. The varsity will start at noon as they host Pinedale. The Wranglers will come to Mountain View on Saturday afternoon. So 2 more matches after tonight for Mountain View. Right now they sit at 15-12 on the season as they move ahead. Now, as we look around the states, let's look at some of those standings. In 4A this week, the unanimous number 1 Laramie has already secured the East number 1 seed for the upcoming regional tournament. And by the way, they're going to host that tournament in Laramie. A similar story for Kelly Walsh in the West, although crosstown rivals Natrona will be hosting the West Regional 4A tournament, but still being held in Casper. Now after that, it's hard to tell because Thunder Basin moved up to number 3, but the votes had been cast before word was spread that number 5 Campbell County won back on Tuesday of this week. If the Lady Camels can win tonight, unranked Sheridan, or tomorrow night, against unranked Sheridan, they could swipe the number 2 East seed from number 4 Cheyenne East. So could be some changes before this weekend's out in the 4A classification. Here in the 3A rankings, not much of a chance of that happening. Number 1 Rollins, number 2 Douglas, number 3 Lyman. They've already got things locked up. Then we look at number 4, that's Cody. They're almost set in the Northwest. The Phillies bumped Star Valley down to number 5 this week. And again, some more action for all of those teams this weekend. There's going to be a shift in the number 2A rankings, in particular in the Southeast, where Northeast teams, Sundance and Wright, occupy the top 2 rankings, and they have for a long time. But Pine Bluffs moved up to number 3 after their big win against number 4 Southeast, who, by the way, lost twice last week. After that, Big Piney holds the number 5 spot. They're still the lone team in the West that is ranked in 2A volleyball in the state of Wyoming. Then there's 1A. That's pretty much set too. The Southwest continues to dominate. Cokeville holds on to number 1 by a wide margin. Then Little Snake River moved up to number 2 after the big win last week on Encampment, who slipped down to number 3. While the Lady Tigers have a big challenge to close the regular season this week at Cokeville, Fort Laramie, stays put at number 4, while Farson, Eden, and Burlington are tied for the number 5 rankings in 1A volleyball across the state. So that's the way things are going as we head into the final regular season of volleyball here in the state of Wyoming. Coming up, we have action here in Lyman High School Gymnasium. It will be the Lyman Eagles against their arch rivals from across the valley, fellow 2A volleyball member, or 3A volleyball members, Mountain View Buffaloes. They're going to go head-to-head in just a couple of minutes. So stay close. We'll be back. You're listening to Lyman Eagle Volleyball on mylocalradio.com. Attention sports teams, coaches, athletic directors, administrators, and parents and fans of high school sports all across Wyoming. When you're in Casper, stay at the Hilton Garden Inn Casper. With spacious guest rooms, a beautiful indoor pool and hot tub, and delicious family restaurant, you'll find everything you need to have your athletes rested and ready to do their best. For all of your team and fan hotel accommodations in Casper, call 307-266-1300. The Hilton Garden Inn, Casper.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
Welcome to Chad's Automotive. How can I help you?
You know you have the best mechanic when you find yourself referring your friends to him. A large number of customers at Chad's Automotives are referrals from other satisfied customers. Chad and his team are honest and do their best for every single customer. When you think about it, if you wouldn't refer your mechanic to a friend, you're probably using the wrong mechanic. Call Chad's Automotive today. Everything from routine maintenance to major repair. 307-789-8263. That's 307-789-8263.
What lives in your ductwork? Creepy, crawly spiders, rodents, old pet hair and dander, dust. It's a fact. Whatever's lingering in your ductwork is the same thing you're breathing in the air.
I've got great news. The professionals at Landmark Plumbing and Heating have all the equipment needed to clean out the ductwork in your house. This is Lane Bowen, owner of Landmark Plumbing and Heating. Let us help you breathe easier by cleaning out your ductwork. Call us today to schedule an appointment. 789-8793.
Superior Rental is Evanston's only full-service rental equipment store. We have what you need to get the job done. Backhoes, trenchers, excavators, air compressors, jackhammers, concrete tools, hammer drills, aerators, tillers, power rakes, forklifts, log splitters, tables and chairs, popcorn, snow cone, and cotton candy machines. Alright, you get the picture. You don't have to own when you can rent from Superior Rental, 371 Prospector Drive in Evanston.
And we welcome you back to Lyman, where it's senior night here. They're introducing their seniors down on the floor.
Bailey Timms and Cindy Carter.
Not only recognizing their own seniors, but also the seniors on Mountain View. Two seniors for Lyman. Second senior is Nicole Crook.
My name is Nicole Crook, daughter of Val and Janet Crook. My future plans are to serve an LDS mission, then find one hunk of a husband and live in South Africa saving little children. Thank you to my mother for yelling at me at the sidelines, and my dad for not saying a single word at my games. Thank you to my beautiful, smart, and talented coaches. Thanks to you, I'm only a little bad. Thank you to my teammates for being the best team ever. And thank you to Cedar for the 6 years of volleyball.
And those of you who are Lyman High School seniors.
I hope you were able to hear a little bit of those
At this time,
speeches.
We will start serving, and then we'll have
They're going to practice serving as they continue their warm-up, and then they're going to do the national anthem as we get ready to get underway here in Lyman High School tonight. Once again, arch rivals. These two teams, as you know, are only about 6 miles away from each other, maybe 8 if we look at it closer. But then again, it might be 3 or 4 for that matter. Very, very, very close, these two high schools. A lot of their cousins play for one team or the other, and it is a very, very strong rivalry between Mountain View and Lyman. So therefore, we know that it's going to be a very, very fun matchup as we get going here tonight. I want to point out the clock down in the corner, the scoreboard where the clock is in Lyman Gymnasium, where I sit up right next to the ceiling. In fact, if I stretched out my arm right now, my fingertips would touch one of the great big iron girders that holds up this wonderful building. And that's how high up in the studios I am. Across the middle of the gymnasium, they have this blue screen that they drop down when regular classes are in session so that they can play different sports on different sides of the gymnasium. And as they raise that screen, I cannot get my scoreboard camera low enough to go underneath that screen all the way. So I'll explain it to you again as I have in other broadcasts. If you look to the left side of the scoreboard, down in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you can barely see on the left side of the scoreboard the letters HOME above the numeral on the left side of the scoreboard. And in the middle, you can kind of see the time. See, there's a minute 19 left in the warm-up, minute 15, minute 14, but you have to kind of use your imagination, and it's the same with the guest score, which is located on the right side of the scoreboard on your screen there. And you can only see a partial number there, a partial numeral. Obviously, the score is 0-0, as we haven't got underway yet here. But I apologize for that screen being in the way. I've tried to fasten my camera on the scoreboard on the other side of the gymnasium, and it's worse than this one as far as my angle as being able to broadcast it on these broadcasts. So bear with me, and I'll try and keep you posted on the score as it goes along throughout each one of these sets. As I said, both teams in pink. It's going to be a little confusing tonight. I know I'll probably get confused worse than anybody. But again, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the teams across the 3A have elected this last weekend to bring awareness to that cause. So the teams got their serving warm-ups done. They will be singing the national anthem here in moments. As we
We'd like to welcome Mountain View to tonight's volleyball game. At this time, we'd like everyone to stand up. And Bryce Hansen is going to sing the national anthem.
One of the Lyman High School students singing the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars.
Number 3, Allie Bugus.
Introducing the starting lineups for Mountain View. Allie Bugus, Brianna Timms, Carly Herford,
Number 8,
Kelsey Georges, number 11, Haley Herford, number 16, Bailey Timms, and number 19, Frankie Jenkins. Head coaches Deanna Timms, also coaches Jessica Anderson and Kim Stevens for Mountain View. Still have the volume up. Let him introduce the Eagles.
West of the splash pad, number 5, McKinley Bradshaw. By the Black Fork River, number 6, Spring Aggie. Zip code 82939, Cassidy Nelson. Off of County Road 241, number 3, Kylie Walker. And Perry Green Drive, number 10, Olivia Smith. Go between the car wash and Maverick in that general direction, number 32, Nicole Cook. On your way to Fort Bridger, just past the four-way, there's some willow trees on the left and the green gates. Number 4, Cedar Air. Those are your Lyman Eagles. Lyman is coached by my boss.
Some of the numbers have changed for the Lyman Eagles as they put on those pink uniforms tonight. All year long, Nicole Crook, who is the libero, has worn number 2. Tonight she's wearing number 32. Looks like number 1, McKaylee Bradshaw. That's tonight's number. She's normally number 13. Kylie Walker, normally number 14, is number 3 tonight. Olivia Smith, I think Ashton Eyre took her place in the starter position at number 10. And then, of course, McKinley Bradshaw normally wears number 22. And she's in number 5 tonight in those pink uniforms for the Lyman Eagles. Of course, the coach, Brescia Hansen, for the Eagles. So as we look on the floor, so you can tell as we start this first set, you're looking at the Mountain View Buffaloes on the left side of your screen. They will be defending the left side of the screen in this first set of action, while the Lyman Eagles are on the right side of your screen, and that's where they will start the game. They're checking the rotations. Referees are. Libero comes in. Allie Bugus, she's wearing a different number tonight too. That's number 0. Mountain View serves. Lyman able to get it back to Mountain View. They're going to take a little time and set something up. A nice dig, but it goes out of bounds. Couldn't quite be controlled. Number 12, Cassidy Nilsson, trying to control that. It flies out of bounds and puts a point up for Mountain View as we get set number 1 underway. Brianna Timms serving, and it goes out of bounds. Serve will go over to Lyman. They're going to send number 5. That's McKinley Bradshaw. These numbers are going to confuse me for a while. Lyman hits into a Mountain View block, and they get lucky, get it back to Mountain View, who sets up another play. Lyman digs it out, can't control it, goes into the net. Point Mountain View. Frankie Jenkins in for Mountain View to serve. Cedar Air digs it up. Kylie sets it. McKinley hits it, but it's saved and set. And back to Lyman. Hit, controlled back in, got to go back over the net. It makes it. Kylie setting it up for Lyman. McKinley hits it, and it goes down for a Lyman point. Going to tie this one up at 2 apiece. First set action here in Lyman, Wyoming. Cedar Air serves, it clips the net, makes it into Mountain View territory. They set up the play and knock it down. Cedar tried to dig it out, couldn't control it. Into the ceilings and out of play, and Mountain View has the point. So they're up by 1. 3 will be serving 2. Mountain View serve. McKinley Bradshaw with the hit. It was blocked. Mountain View couldn't control it. It falls in for a Lyman point. In comes Olivia Smith. Out goes Kylie Walker. And Lyman with the serve. Lyman with a beautiful block. Falls into the back of the court and falls down for a point for Lyman. So Lyman up by 1, 4 serving 3. And hit into the net by Mountain View. Point goes up for Lyman. So now they have a 2-point lead. McKaylee Bradshaw with the serving duties right now for Lyman. Dug out, set up. And Lyman, 4 hits. Point goes over to Mountain View. Mountain View serve. And it goes out. So again, a 2-point lead for Lyman. They're going to take over the serve. The ball will come from the right side of your screen. 6 serving 4 in this first set action here tonight. And looks like Frankie tried to dig that one up. Couldn't quite control it. Hits the back wall of the gymnasium. And another point for Lyman. Again, McKinley with the serve. Bradshaw serving for Lyman. This time Frankie digs it up. Back to Lyman. Lyman sets up their play. See if Mountain View controls. Gets back in and back over to Lyman. This time it didn't quite make it over the net. It went back and forth a little bit. Point goes up for Lyman. This is Cassidy Nilsson serving for Lyman. 8 serving 4 on the mylocalradio.com scoreboard. Back, good net play. Quickly returned by Lyman. Went down low and Mountain View couldn't get up underneath it. They're going to call a timeout. As you look at the mylocalradio.com scoreboard, you see Lyman 9, Mountain View 4. First set action here from Lyman. It's Lyman High School volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
When you have your vehicle serviced by the experienced, certified technicians at Rocky Mountain Yeti, you'll have a legendary experience. With a comfortable customer waiting area, you can watch the big screen television or use the free Wi-Fi while you enjoy free hot waffles with ice cream. Our professional technicians work on all makes and models and handle everything from routine service to major repair. Stop in today, 100 Wasatch Road, Evanston. Visit www.yetiauto.group. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
Back to action as Lyman set to serve. The serve will come from the right side of your screen. Lyman leads 9-4 in this, the first set. Serve goes long, past the baseline, out of bounds, and point goes up for Mountain View. They rotate in Carly Herford for Mountain View. She goes back to take over the serving duties. Ball is set. Controlled by Mountain View. Back to Lyman. Crook digs it out. It is set to the middle of the net. Controlled nicely by Mountain View. And Frankie gets it back. Lyman couldn't control it. Goes into the bleachers, and point goes to Mountain View. They're now down by 3. Again, Carly Herford with the serve. Mountain View gets it back to Lyman, who save it and set it. Try and hit it down. Morgan Douglas is in number 5 I have. No, that's McKinley Bradshaw with the big hit. Number 5, normally she wears number 22. She works a lot off of the outside hitter position for Lyman. And because of the pink uniform, she changed numbers tonight. And the ball just changed servers. It'll come in from the left side of the court as Bugas serves for Mountain View. And they don't get low enough. They don't get it up in the air. That was McKaylee Bradshaw. Couldn't get underneath that serve. Point going up for Mountain View. Makes it 8 serving 10. That time she got under it. Got away with one there. They'll take it. Rolls up and down the net line and falls in for a Mountain View point. So it's a 1-point set here in Lyman tonight as Mountain View serves again. And it goes long past the end line. Giving the serve and the point to Lyman. Kylie Walker in again. Olivia Smith sits down. Kylie serves. Set by Mountain View. Frankie hits. It's controlled by Lyman. Kylie sets it. And this time McKinley knocks it down. Big hit. Hit the block and fell immediately to the floor. Point again for Lyman. Now a 3-point lead. Kylie serving. They set it up, but it hit too hard. It goes long and out of bounds. Another point for Lyman, now leading 13-9, and they control the serve. Set. And again, McKinley Bradshaw with the kill. Coming in hard. Looked like one of Mountain View's players thought it was going to go out. She ducked, and it landed in for the point. So 14 serving 9. Served and set. Controlled by Lyman. Back to the Mountain View side, but it's out of bounds. Point goes up for Mountain View. And 4 hits on the Lyman side gives a point for Mountain View. So this is 11 serving 14. As Brianna Timms was back with the serve, Kylie sets for Lyman, and McKinley knocks it down. Another point. 4-point lead for Lyman in this first set action. 15 serving 11. This time Lyman sets it. Frankie hits it over, but Lyman controls it and gets it back to Mountain View. Again, Frankie, it came off a tip from the break. No, they're going to say a net foul. Net foul, so McKinley Bradshaw back to serve. With a 5-point lead for Lyman, Mountain View sets up their play, and Frankie hits it over, and it drops in for a Mountain View point. Miscommunication in the ranks of Lyman's team, as people were waiting for somebody else to call the dig. Nobody called it. It went in for the point. So that'll send Frankie Jenkins back to the left side of your screen. She'll come in with the serve. Dug up by Cedar Air, set up by Kylie Walker, and knocked down by McKaylee Bradshaw. The set went to the middle of the net. McKaylee got up high and pounded it into the second part of the court. Cedar Air with the serve now for Lyman. Lyman up by 5. Mountain View controls. It goes back and falls inbound for a Mountain View point. That will turn the serve right back over to Mountain View. Bailey Timms will go back. She gets the ball, whistle, and the serve. Kylie back sets this time for Cedar Air. They're able to get under it on the Mountain View side. And tried to one-hand it over the net. And it went at a weird angle off of her fist and went underneath the net and puts up a point for Lyman. Lyman will send McKaylee Bradshaw back to serve. Mountain View digs it up. They get it back to Lyman. Nice serve. I don't know how that happened. But it came out to be Lyman score. How they got down low enough to dig that out, I'll never understand. But that's the way it is. It is 19-13. Lyman is in the lead. This is first set action. It's Lyman High School volleyball action on mylocalradio.com.
Everybody gets rock chips at one time or another in your vehicle window. From now on, anytime you get a chip in your windshield, don't think, oh booger. Instead, think T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Rock chips are fixed in minutes, and the team at T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston will come to you, or you can stop by the shop. T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Call us today.
Coming back from timeout here in Lyman, where Lyman leads Mountain View at this point in first set by a score of 19-13. And Lyman has the serve. It is pink out night tonight. Both teams wearing pink. Big hit by Nilsson. Blocked and controlled again. Lyman gets it over to Mountain View. They're going to set it up. Back over to Lyman. Blocked at the net. Back to Lyman. They're given a point. They're saying Lyman carried the ball, so the point will go to Mountain View, making it a 5-point game, 14-19. They're going to serve into Ali Bugas, their libero. Now Ali's in number 0 in black tonight. Once again, different numbers on different players tonight with the pink uniforms. Lyman, nice little play, gets it back over to Mountain View. And once again, a carry on the Lyman side of the court will give the point to Mountain View, who have the serve. Past the block and down for the kill. Hits inbounds. Mountain View score. They can maintain their serve as 16 will be serving 19. Lyman with the 3-point lead here in the first set. And back to Mountain View, who set up a play of their own. To the middle of the net, drops into the middle of the court, point for Mountain View. That will make it 17-19 as Ali continues to serve. And this one falls in for a Lyman. This time Lyman just taps it over the top of the blockers. It falls into the middle of the court and puts up the point for Lyman. So they have a 3-point lead and the serve. They send Cassidy Nilsson back to serve. 20 serving 17. Mountain View controls. Dug up by Crook. Put over by and it falls in for a Mountain View point. So the serve goes back. Carly Herford going back for Mountain View. The serve comes into Lyman. They set up their play. Mountain View gets it back to Lyman. Spring set it up for McKinley Bradshaw at number 5. She was able to knock it down or off of one of the Mountain View players for another point. Back set for Mountain View, the block, and it falls in for a Mountain View point. Makes it 19 serving 21 as Mountain View controls the serve. Nice block in the center of the line. Cedar Air and McKinley Bradshaw team up for that block for Lyman. Drops in for a point. They'll take the serve back. Kylie Walker rotates in. She'll take the serve back for Lyman. 22 serving 19. Crook digs it up. Kylie sets it. McKinley hits it into the net. They call it a net ball, and that will mean point Mountain View. Now a 2-point difference in this, the first set. Brianna Timms with the serve. Dug out, set up. McKinley with the hit. Controlled and set. Lyman sets up a play of their own, back to McKinley. Mountain View digs it out, goes back to Lyman, back to Mountain View. Lyman will set this one. Again, McKinley kills off one of the Mountain View hands and falls in for the score. So 23-22 as Lyman will take the serve back. Kylie will set it. They're saying a Mountain View point. I don't know. Maybe she carried the ball. Maybe that's what they called. I missed the call by the ref, but anyway, turns out to be a Mountain View point. Frankie Jenkins takes the ball back for the serve. 21 serving 23. Lyman up by 2. And the kill goes down. Cassidy Nilsson set up by Kylie Walker. And the perfect kill to the floor for this point number 24, Cedar Air. Back to serve for Lyman. This is set point. 24 serving 21. And Cedar couldn't get low enough to dig that hit up. So that'll drop in for a Mountain View point. Make it a 2-point set. 22 serving 24. Again, set point for Lyman. They set up their play. It's dug up by Mountain View, kept alive. Back to Lyman. They're setting another play. This one goes to Nilsson and it falls in. Point Lyman, set Lyman. 25-22 in set number 1. 25-22. It's Lyman up 1-0 over Mountain View here in this best of 5 series tonight. You're listening to Lyman High School volleyball action on mylocalradio.com.
History from the gangsters of the past like Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bonnie and Clyde are at the Legal Tender restaurant located inside the Best Western Dunmar Inn. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the motel. During his FBI career, Dub worked with many other famous agents like Elliot Ness and Sam Calley to take the criminals down. From the names on the menu to the nostalgia on the walls, notorious figures from the 1920s are all around. Come and enjoy a delicious meal surrounded by history today at the Legal Tender Restaurant, 1601 Harrison Drive, Evanston.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
We sell fun. Come see and feel the fun when you shop at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. You and your family will have fun year-round, in the water with personal watercraft, in nature driving your side-by-side or riding your four-wheeler, or in the mountains on your snow machine. It's always fun at Cache Honda Yamaha, no matter what the season is. Our showroom is full of inventory to choose from. Start having more fun today. Visit Cache Honda Yamaha between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91. We sell fun.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
And we're in between sets here in Lyman, Wyoming, where Lyman Lady Eagles lead the Lady Buffalo from Mountain View by 1-0. You see everybody wearing pink tonight in Breast Cancer Awareness Month activity for, I think, all of 3A, maybe all of the volleyball this weekend across the state of Wyoming is wearing pink. But some of the numbers have changed tonight because of that. So bear with me and keep on watching. We'll bring you the action as it happens. And it's made possible in part by First Bank in Mountain View. For all of your banking needs, serving individuals, farms, ranches, business customers, they can do it. Visit them online at firstbank-online.com. That's first with the number 1 ST, firstbank-online.com. First Bank in Mountain View, bringing us the action tonight. So we've switched sides of the court. As we come out with the second set, you will see Mountain View on the right side of your screen, okay? Lyman will come out on the left side of your screen. On the scoreboard, MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard, that will remain the same. Lyman will be on the right side of the scoreboard, while Mountain View is on the left side of the scoreboard. So this time the scores are on the same side of the board as the teams are. Mountain View on the right, Lyman on the left. Set number 2, they've got their rotation set. This time Lyman will be serving. Kylie Walker back with the serve, coming from the left side of the court. Controlled and set. Back to Lyman. Kylie goes in and does a back set. Sets up Bradshaw for the kill. It goes off of the block of Mountain View, falls between the blockers and the net. Point Lyman. Again, Kylie Walker back to serve. She'll come from the left side of your viewing screen. Mountain View sets one up. This time it goes out of bounds. Looked like Cassidy Nilsson tried to dig it out. Couldn't quite get under control of it. So, set number 2. 1-1. Mountain View serve. This is Frankie Jenkins serving. That serves off the tip of the net and out of bounds. So the serve goes back to Lyman. So does the point. And the hit from Mountain View goes out of bounds. So Lyman gets another point. They lead by 2. 3 serving 1. Mountain View sets it up. A back set blocked nicely by Lyman. They set up another one. Kylie does a back set. And again, it's McKaylee Bradshaw with the kill. McKinley Bradshaw takes the serve back for Lyman. 4 serving 1. Second set action. Frankie Jenkins with the third hit. Didn't quite get it to the other side of the net. So it's 5-1 for Lyman. As again, they control the serve. Are on the left side of your screen. Mountain View on the right. Nice dig. Set up to the middle of the net. Controlled by Lyman. Mountain View tries a blooper. Lyman gets it back. Mountain View gets it back. Trading sides of the net, fast and furious. Now Lyman sets up their play, and this hit goes down hard. It's Cassidy Nilsson. Hits one of the, I think it was Jenkins. It hit her in the hands and bounced off the back wall of the gymnasium. Puts up another point for Lyman. Big hit goes too far. That's Lindy Herford. I think on that hit, went out of bounds, point Lyman. And again, through Lindy Herford. And again, out of bounds and a point Lyman. So you're looking at 8-1 as we start this second set. Lyman is up 1-0, and they have a 7-point lead, 8-1 in this second set. You're listening to Lyman Eagle Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
Sign up now for the new Sync RX program at City Drug.
Your prescriptions will be synchronized to be refilled the same time each month.
Save time and reduce your visits to the pharmacy.
The staff at City Drug will resolve insurance issues and call your doctor for refills in advance.
We'll make all the calls.
Your prescriptions will be ready the same time each month.
No waiting. Simple and easy. The Sync RX program is free. Stop in today to sign up.
City Drug, your local hometown pharmacy in downtown Evanston.
There always is when Lyman and Mountain View play each other in any sport. You can't really see them. They're down below the camera angle on this near side of the court. The same side I'm on, they're underneath our camera angle, but almost every seat in the house is taken. Once again, Lyman up by 7. They serve, and Mountain View controls it, gets it back over. Nice block by Mountain View, goes high, out of bounds, point Mountain View. So the timeout did them a little good. Ali Bugas goes back for the serve. Over to Lyman, where they set up their play. Controlled by Mountain View. Back to Lyman. Kylie throws it over. Nice little trick play by Kylie. That'll send Cedar back to serve for Lyman. Cedar Air, 9 serving 2. As Mountain View gets underneath it. Miscommunication, it goes down for a Lyman point. That was total miscommunication on the Mountain View side of the ball. Cedar again with the serve over to Mountain View. That time no communication problems. But Lyman's able to control it and get it back to Mountain View. They'll set up another play. Dugout, set up. Nice dig by Mountain View's Bugas. She gets another dig, sets it up for her Mountain View team. Kylie digs this one out. Cedar sticks it down. Who was that? Spring Yagi. Spring Yagi with the hit. Point Lyman, 11 serving 2. Lyman is up by 9 as Mountain View builds their play. It's blocked and falls in for a Mountain View point. That will send. Well, whoever it is that's wearing it, she's wearing number 3, and that's normally Ali Bugas' name, or number, but I don't have her on my roster. With the pink, I can't identify who she is. But play goes on as Lyman hits it into a Mountain View block, and it falls in for a Lyman point. Big hit coming from Cassidy Nilsson. So they'll rotate around. Hadley Gross. No, excuse me, that is McKaylee Bradshaw with the serve. Mountain View gets it back to the play set up and knocked down by, I think it was Cassidy Nilsson, for another point. So this is not going at all like Mountain View wants it, as Lyman is up by 10 points here in the second set, 13-3 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Lyman Eagle Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Back to second set action. Lyman has the serve from the left side of the screen. They also have a 10-point lead, 13-3, and up 1-0 over Mountain View at this point in this match tonight. That falls in for a Mountain View score. They will rotate Carly Herford in, send her back to do the scoring duties. So down by 9, Mountain View has the serve. Referee is talking to the timers table. They're looking at the clock. And they called for the serve. It's down for a Lyman point. Serve went across to Lyman. They set up the play. The hit went down and off the hands of one of the Mountain View players. So it's 14 serving 4 as Lyman takes control of the serve again. We're going to send Cassidy Nilsson back to serve. Controlled by Bugas, hit by Jenkins, and it falls in for a Mountain View score. Nice little hit by Frankie Jenkins. Found a spot where nobody was on the Lyman side. Mountain View serves, and Lyman puts it back in the out-of-bounds position as Olivia Smith knocked that back into Mountain View territory, but it didn't land in bounds. So that'll put 6 points on the board for Mountain View. They control the serve. And misplayed by Spring Yagi. She didn't quite hit it. She was trying to miss the blockers and hook it off to the side and didn't quite get it into the Mountain View side of the court. So again, another point for Mountain View. They serve. Nice block by Lyman. Back to the Lyman side of the court, and again, miscommunication, this time on the Lyman side of the court, as a couple of players didn't know who was going to get it. Neither of them called it. Point goes to Mountain View. 8 serving 14. And a nice little blip. No net call. Beautiful play by McKinley Bradshaw. She goes up and taps that ball into the Mountain View side of the net for another point. That will send Nicole Crook, one of the seniors tonight. She had the serve. Mountain View gets it back to Lyman. And Mountain View couldn't control it, and couldn't get far enough underneath it to get it up where anybody could get any kind of play on it. So point number 16 goes to Lyman. This is 16 serving 8. Again, Crook with the serve. Mountain View sets it up back to Lyman. They get underneath it. They set it up for McKinley, who kills it. Another Lyman point. Second set action. Lyman leading. They beat the first set 25-22 here in Lyman. They're in very much command of this set, 17-8, and they have control of the serve again. There's some problem with kids too close to the court. They're moving, like I said, a packed house here tonight. You can't see it because of the camera angle, but there's a lot of people here. And they had to ask one of the officials here at Lyman High School to go move some of the students because they were standing too close to the court before they could get in play again. And as they got in play, Mountain View picks up the score. Brianna Timms back to serve. 9 serving 17. And goes off the hands of Cassidy Nilsson out of bounds into the audience. Point Mountain View. 10 serving 17. Big hit for Lyman. That means Olivia Smith rotates out. Kylie will rotate in. Takes the ball back to the left side of your screen for the serve. Controlled and set by Mountain View. And a nice hit. Nice hit. It was Bailey Timms with the hit over the center of the net. In for the kill for Mountain View. Frankie Jenkins will serve from the right side of your court, right side of your screen. Dug out and set. And they're saying it's out of bounds, a little bit long. That was McKinley. McKinley Bradshaw with the hit. Went just a couple of inches long. So again, Frankie Jenkins serving for Mountain View as 12 serves 18. Kylie sets it up. Cedar Air gets it back to Mountain View. They set up a play of their own. Back to Mountain View. And it drops in for a Mountain View score. Instead of hitting it straight down like they anticipated, she hit it to the left. Actually to her right, the left of the defense. And it dropped in for a Mountain View score. So 13 will be serving 18 as Mountain View serves up again. Jenkins with the serve. Out of bounds. That went off of Spring Yagi for the Mountain View score. 14 serving 18. Mountain View making their way back into this one after being down 10. Nice dig by Mountain View to keep it alive. And it falls out of bounds. Point Lyman. So now they're up by 5. They have to serve. McKinley Bradshaw back to serve. Dug out and controlled. Set. And the kill goes down for Bailey Timms for Mountain View. Haley Herford comes in for Bailey Timms. And Mountain View takes over the serve again. It's Bugas with the serve. Cedar Air digs it up, it's set, and Nilsson gets it back to Mountain View. They set it up and hit it a little too hard. Coming off the fist of number 12, Lindy Herford, it goes long and out of bounds, and sends Cedar Air back to serve for Lyman. It's Lyman up by 5, 20 serving 15. Mountain View sets it again. This time it's blocked. Back to Mountain View, back to Lyman. They set up their play. And Nilsson knocks it down for the kill. 6-point lead for the Lyman Eagles here in this second set. Eagles up by 1 set, 1-0. They're leading by 6 points in the second set, 21-15, and they have the serve. Nice dig by Cedar Air to keep that going. And then it goes directly into the net. Turns a point to Mountain View. McKinley Bradshaw tried to get it over the net, but it was too low. Mountain View serving. And it goes off of a Lyman player out of bounds, point Mountain View, which makes it 17 serving 21. McKinley sets it up to Nilsson. Dug out by Mountain View, who set it up a nice block at the net. They're saying a net foul. Point Lyman. Point Lyman, net foul on Mountain View. Olivia comes in, Kylie comes out for Lyman as they serve, and Mountain View sets up the play, and they let it go. It's out of bounds. Long, good read. It wasn't out of bounds by very long. McKinley Bradshaw kind of ducked, and point falls in for Lyman. 23 serving 17. Mountain View sets it up. The block goes down on the Lyman side for a Mountain View point. They'll send Carly Herford back to serve. 18 serving 23. Lyman couldn't control it. 4 hits. It goes over to a point for Mountain View as once again Carly Herford with the serve. High in the air off the back wall, point Mountain View. Well, they've come back from 10 points down in this set. They're now just down by 3. They have the serve. And they hit it. It goes out of bounds, and the point goes over to Lyman, who now have set point. Set number 2. It's 24-20 on the mylocalradio.com scoreboard. Lyman will be serving, and it's their set point. Serve goes out of bounds. Mountain View picks up the serve and the point. They're going to send Haley Herford out to serve. 21 serving 24. Again, set point for Lyman, who set up the play. And McKinley hits it too long, out of bounds. Point Mountain View. Haley still with the serve. 22 serving 24, and that falls into the net and goes up as a point. 25-22. The exact same score as it was in the first set as Lyman picks up set number 2 here in Lyman High School tonight. This is a best of 5 match. It is a matchup between 3A West volleyball teams, and it is a conference match. It's the last game the last regular season game of the year for these Lyman Eagles. And we would like to thank Reese Auto Service for helping us bring you these broadcasts. They work on everything. And he emphasized, Doug Reese, the owner, he emphasized everything from generators to mowers to snow blowers to semis to farm equipment. And now they can help you with all of your tire needs too. That's Reese Auto Service right here in Lyman at 541 Highway 413. Reese Auto Service. Let them know you appreciate their sponsorship of your Lyman Eagles here on mylocalradio.com. Back in a couple of minutes. They switch sides of the court, and we'll come back for set number 3 here in Lyman in a couple of moments. You're listening to Lyman High School Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
Attention sports teams, coaches, athletic directors, administrators, and parents and fans of high school sports all across Wyoming. When you're in Casper, stay at the Hilton Garden Inn Casper. With spacious guest rooms, a beautiful indoor pool and hot tub, and delicious family restaurant, you'll find everything you need to have your athletes rested and ready to do their best. For all of your team and fan hotel accommodations in Casper, call 307-266-1300. The Hilton Garden Inn, Casper. And we welcome you back to Lyman High School as Lyman Eagles are up 2-0 over the Mountain View Buffaloes tonight here in Lyman. Best of 5. Let's see. Let's fix that scoreboard so that you can see the score very well here in this third set. Lyman up 2-0, like I just said. This broadcast brought to you in part by Benedict's Market and True Value. Say thank you to them the next time you see them. They're at 950 North Highway 414. They've been serving their friends and neighbors in the Bridger Valley since 1938. That's a long time. Next year it'll be 80 years they've been in business. It's Benedict's Market and True Value. Still serving their friends, helping us with this broadcast tonight here in Lyman. So they switch sides of the court. Let's set the scene. Mountain View will be on the left side of your screen. Their score will be on the right side of the scoreboard, while Lyman will take the right side of your screen, and their score will be on the left side of the scoreboard. Okay, as they set it all up, everybody's in pink tonight. Breast Cancer Awareness Weekend for volleyball across the state. Of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October. Very fitting to do. This time, Mountain View will have the serve as they send Brianna Timms back to serve as we start third set action here in Lyman. Dug out and never made it across the net. I think Spring forgot that she had to get it over in 3. She was trying to set it rather than put it back to Mountain View. So point Mountain View. Nice little play at the net for Mountain View. And then the hit comes down. They can't control it. Went off the hands of Bailey Timms. Out of bounds. Point goes up for Lyman. So like they've started the last 2 sets, they're tied up at 1 apiece. This is exactly the way they started set number 1 and set number 2. Back to serve is Cassidy Nilsson for the Eagles. Dug up by the Buffaloes. Set up. Back to the Buffaloes. This one set up and it goes long, out of bounds, point Lyman. Unless I read something wrong, which I must have. They're saying point goes to, must have been an infraction on the net. Point goes to Mountain View. Frankie Jenkins will go back, coming from the left side of your screen for the serve for Mountain View. They're up by 1. Back to Lyman. Lyman sets it up. Olivia Smith. Olivia Smith to McKinley Bradshaw. A wicked combination. Setter, outside hitter, and point scorers for the Lyman Eagles. Nicole Crook with the serve for Lyman. Mountain View gets it back, and now it's back to Mountain View. They're going to set up their play. The middle of the net. This one back to Mountain View. Falls in for a point, a Lyman point. So the Eagles take a 1-point lead now in this, the third set. 3 serving 2. Lyman with the serve. Mountain View sets up. Dug out into the rafters, bounces around in the rafters, but they're still able to get it back to Mountain View. Keep it in play. And this was a carry on Mountain View. They're going to send that over to Lyman, both the point and the serve. They are going to send Nicole Crook back to serve for Lyman. Has 4 serves 2 in this third set of action. And this goes off a fingertip of one of Lyman's players. Point goes up for Mountain View. Mountain View, the serve will come from the left side of your screen. It's Ali Bugas with the serve. Lyman sets up their play. Blocked nicely. Comes down on the Mountain View side of the court off one of their players, out of bounds. Point goes to Lyman. Kylie Walker comes in, take over the serving duties as Olivia Smith sets down for Lyman. 5 serving 3. Set number 3. Best of 5 here tonight in Lyman. Kylie sets it for Lyman. They get it back to Mountain View. They control it. Goes out of bounds. That will be point Lyman. Kylie will maintain her serve. And Lyman goes up by 3, 6-3. Third set. Kylie's serve controlled. And back to Lyman. They get underneath it. They get something set up. Back to Mountain View. And they drop it in for the kill. Nice little hit by Haley Stevens is who I have, number 6. But once again, these pink uniforms. Haley Stevens with the kill. I'll give it to her for Mountain View. Mountain View serve. Kylie gets underneath it, sets it for Cedar Air. They're calling a foul of some sort on maybe 2 hits. 2 hits on Mountain View. I didn't see it, but anyway, the point goes up for Lyman. McKinley Bradshaw with the serve. Mountain View sets. Gets it back to Lyman. A back set for Kylie. Nice dig. Goes out of bounds. That will fall out of bounds. Put up the point for Lyman. 8 serving 4. Lyman up by 4 points here in set number 3. Nice block by Lyman, but Mountain View handles it. They get it back to Lyman. They set up the play. It goes into the net. Point Mountain View. Tried to set up a big hit, and Cassidy Nilsson not quite up high enough. Hits it into the net. So they'll send Carly Herford back to serve for Mountain View. Play dug up by Mountain View. Back to Lyman. Mountain View tries some trickery as it goes back and forth a couple of times. Still in play. Blocked this time, Cedar Air's attempt. And the hit by Nilsson goes long, out of play. Point Mountain View. Mountain View down by 2. 6-2, or 6-8, excuse me. Nice play by Lyman. As that ball went into the net, they waited for it to get low enough, hit it up, got it back to Mountain View, and Mountain View immediately pounded it down for the point. Nice big hit by Haley Herford on the kill there for Mountain View. Serve to Lyman. They get it back to Mountain View, who can't get underneath it, so the point will go up for Lyman. That will mean they'll take over the serve. Cedar Air will go back to do the duties. It will be 9 serving 7. Lyman up by 2. And it goes off the block. Big hit by Haley Herford. Hits one of the Lyman players and falls down for a Mountain View point. So they'll send Haley back to serve for Mountain View. And she serves long. Send the serve back to Lyman. And put another point up. Still a 2-point lead for Lyman. 10 will be serving 8. As McKaylee Bradshaw serves. And the hit goes down, goes off one of the Lyman players, and Mountain View point. So again, switch serves. The serve goes over to Mountain View. They rotate in Brianna Timms. She'll do the serving for Mountain View. Will be 9 serving 10. Into the net. Service error. Point Lyman. Go get the serve back too. This time it'll be Nilsson, Cassidy Nilsson back with the serve. 11 will be serving 9. Set number 3. And that set up, Mountain View hits it into the net. Point will go up for Lyman. Cassidy retains her serve. Serve will come from the right side of your screen. And Mountain View gets it back to Lyman. They set up the play. Nice dig, beautiful dig by, I think that was Jenkins that dug it up to keep the play alive. Now back to Lyman, back to Mountain View. They're setting up their play at the middle of the net. Kept alive by Lyman, back to Mountain View, and it falls for a Lyman point. I think that was Spring Yagi. Reached up and just kind of tipped that over the net. So they take the point. They'll send Cassidy back to serve again. 13 serving 9. Mountain View sets up. And they couldn't control it. It goes into the net for a Mountain View point. So Mountain View takes over the serve. They'll send Jenkins back to do the serving for Mountain View. And blocked out of bounds by the front line of Mountain View. Falls for a Lyman point. They'll send Nicole Crook back to serve. 14 will be serving 10. Lyman with a 4-point lead. Set number 3. Kept alive. Back and forth it went. Lyman kept it alive. Back to Mountain View, who set up a play. Dug out by Crook, set up by Olivia. Back to Mountain View. Back to Lyman. Again, they set it up at the middle of the net for Cedar. Dug out by Mountain View. Back to Lyman. Nice dig by Ali Bugas for Mountain View. That was a powerful hit by Bradshaw, but she dug it out. And because she's able to dig it out, it went back and forth a couple of times. And a point Mountain View. Alley with the serve for Mountain View. Lyman digs it out, gets it back to Mountain View, who set up their play. Middle of the net, drops to the middle of the floor. And it was a Haley Herford little hit. Wasn't really a power hit, just a tap. Dropped it to where they wanted it. They pick up a point for Mountain View. So Olivia rotates out. Kylie comes in after another Lyman point. Kylie Walker serving for Lyman. 15 serving 12. Mountain View sets up their player, outside hitter. And point, Mountain View. Couldn't control it enough to get it back to the Mountain View side of the net. Rotating some people in. Mountain View with the serve. Oh, nice little play by Cedar at the net. Oh, 2 nice little plays. First one, she just tapped it back in. Mountain View got it right back to her, and she swatted sideways. Dropped in for a Lyman score. Now the serve coming from Lyman. McKinley Bradshaw serving. Mountain View setting up. Kylie set up Kylie set up McKaylee. Set, hit, point, Lyman. McKinley Bradshaw goes back to serve. And it goes long, out of bounds. Point Mountain View. They'll take over the serve again. They'll bring in Carly Herford. So this will be 14 serving 17 in third set action. Lyman is up 2-0 in this best of 5. That hit the line, falls in. Lyman point. They'll take the serve and the point. Up by 4. 18 serving 14 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. Mountain View sets it up. Blocked at the front line. Back to Mountain View. They set it up again. Dug out by Lyman. Kylie putting it over to the Mountain View side, where they do a back set this time. Didn't fool Lyman. Lyman sets up their own play. That was Nilton. Nice dig. Mountain View getting underneath that to keep it alive. A nice dig on the Lyman side. Keeping the ball alive. Now back to Mountain View. Set for Frankie Jenkins. Controlled by Lyman. Back to Mountain View. Another nice dig for Mountain View. And this time Frankie Jenkins knocks it down for the kill. Mountain View point. They'll also take the serve back. Lyman controls it. Nice block. Back and forth across the net. Frankie Jenkins gives it back to Lyman. They control it. Cassidy tries for the kill. It goes off a Mountain View player. They keep it alive. Some beautiful play by Mountain View kept that alive. But some play at the net, strong play at the net, drops in the score for Lyman. They will send McKaylee Bradshaw back to serve. They're up by 4 points, 19-15 in third set action. They're up 2-0. I'm talking about the Lyman Eagles. Now they are controlling the ball and setting up their play. Back to Mountain View. Play is set. That was hit by Lindy Herford into an area where Lyman couldn't get underneath it. That will bring up another point for Mountain View. They're down by 3. They rotate Brianna Timms in. She will serve. Olivia sets it. It hit long. I was wondering if it went off somebody's fingertips. They're saying no, out of bounds. Point Mountain View. So a 2-point lead. 17 will be serving 19 as Mountain View continues their serve. Hits the net. From Lyman back to Mountain View, they set up a play to the middle of the net. Controlled by Bradshaw, set up by Olivia. Bradshaw hits it into the net, point Mountain View. Again, Brianna Timms will be serving from the left side of your screen. Lyman controls, Olivia sets, and the hit goes off a Mountain View fingertip. Point for the Eagles. They send Cassidy Nilsson back to serve. 20 will be serving 18. 2-point lead for the Lyman Eagles here in set number 3. Mountain View tries to set it up. Frankie Jenkins tried to give it a fist bump, get it over the net. Didn't quite make it into the net. Point goes up for Lyman, and Mountain View calls a timeout. Down by 3. On the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard, it is Lyman 21, Mountain View 18. Lyman is up best of, they're up 2-0 in this, the best of 5. They're going to take a little extra long on this timeout as they award some auction money. We'll be back. You're listening to Lyman Eagle Volleyball here on MyLocalRadio.com.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
Raffle to raise some money for some local people. here in Lyman tonight, and that's what they awarded, was the raffle winner and the money to the family that it was going to. So Lyman will serve. 21 serving 18, set number 3. Lyman up 2-0 in the best of 5 here. They're saying a net foul on Lyman will put a point up for Mountain View. Means Jenkins, Frankie Jenkins back to serve. 19 serving 21. Olivia Smith sets it up. Blocked nicely. And they're saying Lyman carried the ball off of that block. That'll put a point up for Mountain View. Send Frankie back with the serve again. Play will come from the left side of your screen. It will be 20 serving 21. And it goes into the net for a Lyman point. Nicole Crook, one of 2 seniors here on Lyman's team, back to serve. The other being Cedar Air. And this goes out of bounds. Point goes over to Lyman. Lyman now with the 3-point lead. And again, Mountain View calls a timeout. On the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard, you're seeing Lyman 23, Mountain View 20. A 3-point lead for Lyman. Just 2 points away from a win, both match and set, as they're already up 2-0. The Eagles are. They're taking this time out. We'd like to thank Achieve Sports Medicine here in Lyman. At 109 South Main, physical therapist Randy Christofferson says no excuses, just results. When you need the help of a physical therapist, you need to call Randy at 747-4627. That's 747-4627. Or stop by 109 South Main right here in Lyman. It's Achieve Sports Medicine. We thank him for his help in our coverage of Bridger Valley sports here on MyLocalRadio.com. Back at it, Nicole Crook back to serve for Lyman. Dug up, set up, and back to Lyman, who set up a play of their own. Mountain View digs it out. Back to Lyman. Olivia sets up McKinley. The block goes out of bounds. Point goes to Lyman. This is match and set point for Lyman. As 24 serves 20. Match and set point. Crook with the serve. Back and forth the ball goes until Mountain View sets up a play. Now Cedar Air with the hit. It's blocked. They set up Cedar again over the center of the net. Mountain View digs it out. Set. And the block falls in for the point and the set and the match as Lyman Eagles take this best of 5 in 3 sets. A score of 25-22. 25-22 and 25-20 here in third set action. So that's the way regular season will end for these Lyman Eagles, ranked number 3 in the state in 3A volleyball with a regular season record of 25-4. Lyman will be looking for the number 1 seed in the West going into regionals. I think it's in Riverton, if I'm not mistaken, next weekend for 3A West regionals. So congratulations to them on a great regular season. As far as our cameras go, let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. Lyman will host a football game here in town tomorrow, so we are going to travel with the Mountain View football team as they go up to Grable. We have already set up with the activities director and the IT person up in Grable. They are planning on us being there to video stream that action for you live from Grable. The game is scheduled to set at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, so we will be up there and bring you the Mountain View Grable football game tomorrow evening. Then on Saturday at noon, we are going to try and make it back to Mountain View for the final game of the year for these very same Buffaloes, the ladies that you saw on the court tonight, as their final game will be a home game against Pinedale. They'll be hosting Pinedale. So all of that going on this weekend. Now, because of some regulations put on live video stream broadcasts at state-sanctioned events like regionals and or the state playoffs, we will not be able to bring you any of that action here on mylocalradio.com as far as the Lyman Eagles or Mountain View Buffaloes go. So our final coverage of regular season fall sports here in the Valley will be tomorrow and Saturday when we cover Mountain View football and Mountain View volleyball. Excuse me. That is in case I can make it back from Grable in time to get the stream set up for noon on Saturday. So that's what's going on with us. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast tonight. Again, congratulations to the Lady Lyman Eagles on a great year as they wrap up number 3 in the state after regular season and a record of 25-4 on the year for the Eagles. Our broadcast tonight has been brought to you by Rocky Mountain Yeti, by Chad's Automotive, by Wyoming Dental Specialties, by Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, by West Star Printing, by Rocky Mountain Signs, and by My Local Radio and the Co-op, helping business owners get the word out. You know, co-ops come together. You can buy more for less, and that's what the co-op's all about. You can reach more people than ever before with your advertising message by being a member of the co-op, and find out more about it just by calling 307-789-8116. That's 307-789-8116, and ask them about what is this advertising co-op. I'm Val Cook. That will wrap up our broadcast for tonight. Again, thanks to all of our broadcasters, thanks to all of our sponsors, thanks to the teams, thanks to Coach Brescia Hansen, to Activities Director Jason Hansen, to his assistant Jenny Lynn Quinney, and to IT person here for Lyman High School, Brian Anson. Thank you for all of their help and their support in helping us to bring you these broadcasts of volleyball and football. Bridger Valley Sports from Lyman High School right here on mylocalradio.com. So until tomorrow, at sometime right shortly before 7 o'clock when we bring you Mountain View football action live from Grable, Wyoming, you have a fantastic day.